All right, I am live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome aboard. Howdy do. Good to see you. Glad you're here. As you guys come in, tell me where you're from, what you're doing, what you're up to this fine Saturday night. I don't do Saturday night very often, but tonight we are doing Saturday Night Live. And we're doing it 7 p.m., not 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is also a little bit of a change. I might do a live stream Sunday night too. I don't know, hadn't decided, but I definitely wanted to do a live stream tonight. Got a few things going on that I wanted to talk about, and I don't remember exactly what all those things are. Oh, yeah, I do. I do. The topic tonight is going to be my number one business tip for homesteaders. It's not just quail farming, it's homesteaders in general. And that's going to be maybe another 5 minutes down the road before we get into the topic of the evening, just because I want as many people to be here live as possible. Good evening, Cheryl. Good evening, Jeff. Good evening, John. Glad y'all are here. Mark, howdy do. Love seeing all my familiar names pop up this early in the live stream. That makes me feel good. Hatch and Hearth Homestead, glad you're here. Glad you're here. I do have two big announcements this evening, too. If you were here last Thursday, maybe was it Thursday I did a live stream, y'all? Anyway, if you saw the last live stream, then you've heard one of the big announcements. I'm going to make that announcement again, just in case. And I've got an announcement tonight that you don't know about, and it's kind of a big deal. So I'm quite excited about that. Good evening, Christina from Salisaw. Is that Christina or Christian? Hang on a minute. Christian, sorry about that. I got my computer sitting up in front of me and I can't figure out where my bifocals have to pick up at to read properly. Occasionally you'll see me take my glasses off and lean way in. Old Bayou Homestead, howdy. So I had a poultry swap this morning. Did okay. It was a slower poultry swap. Someone said there might have been a fair somewhere in town, and just the weather in general has been keeping people from wanting to go and do. And it's so stinking hot. Today is nowhere. It's not as bad as it has been. I don't even know what the temperature is right now. Take a quick look. The other night it was 97 degrees in the barn at 10:30 at night, and right now it's only 92 degrees outside. So this is like a nice little vacation for us. 92 degrees. What I'm looking at here on my weather app shows no triple digits if you're using Apple. Let's go over to Fox Weather. Fox and Apple have not been agreeing with each other. It's almost like one is using the GFS model and one's using the European model. So according to Weather Channel, we still got quite a few triple digits coming our way. With the lowest high temperature being 97 degrees over the next 2 weeks. So kind of crazy. Let's see. Christian says all is well. Been watching a lot of your videos. Really helps me learn and get into quail. I have 26 birds at the moment. Just wanted to say thank you for the content. Well, thank you for watching. I'm glad it's helping you out. Glad you're getting something from it. Marvin, howdy. Glad you're here. 97 there and feels like 112. Yeah, man, it's been 104 here and felt 1,000,006. So if it's 92 right now, I'll take it. But the thing is I can't even get my weather apps to come in agreement with each other. You know, sometimes the weather apps agree, but this summer they have not been in agreement. Over the next couple of weeks, they're not in agreement. So I always tell people 2 weeks out, and right now, 2 weeks out, it still doesn't look like I'm going to be shipping. Still going to be too hot. Hang on one second, my daughter's calling me. Hello. Hey, I'm live. What's up? I figured you were going to, since I hadn't heard from you. Yep, you got a toothbrush over there? Okie dokie. Make sure you're polishing your teeth. Love you. Bye. All right. She's spending the night with her friend tonight. So, anyway, couple big announcements. I'll go ahead and do the first announcement now, because it's going to be a repeat of an announcement I did on Thursday, I guess, whenever I did my live stream. I didn't do a Wynola Ranch quail cage giveaway for the month of July. Bottom line is, I forgot. I totally forgot. Somebody about a week and a half, 2 weeks into August goes, "Hey, are you going to do the quail cage giveaway?" And I didn't even realize it was August yet. So, my bad. However, I did talk to my friends at Wynola Ranch. I called them up. I said, "Hey, y'all, I forgot to do the giveaway for the month of July. I want to make up for it. Can we do a quail cage giveaway for the month of? Can we do 2 giveaways for the month of August, since I forgot to do one in July?" And the folks at Wynola Ranch said, "Absolutely, no problem. Glad to do it." And so what we're doing is we're giving away 2 of the poultry transport cages. One of them is going to be the large orange one, ideal for chickens, larger poultry. You could probably even, put some turkeys in there. They wouldn't be real comfortable, but you could probably get them in there. And you can transport probably a dozen chickens in there. The other poultry transport cage is going to be the red and white one. It's a little bit smaller of a transport cage, but it's perfect for quail or any type of small poultry. You can still fit chickens in there for sure, just not as many as the orange one. Both of those retail for $65 to like $95. So the way you get entered for the Wynola Ranch Quail Cage giveaway is you either have to be a subscriber on Facebook, or you have to be a member on YouTube. If you click the join button on my YouTube channel, you can become a member. There's 3 different levels of membership. There is the Quail Beginner, Quail Pro, and Quail Partner are the 3 different levels. So if you want to be entered for the Wynola Ranch Quail Cage giveaway, you've got to be a subscriber or a member on YouTube, subscriber on Facebook or a member on YouTube. If you're a subscriber on Facebook and a member on YouTube, you're entered twice. So double your chances to win. You also get a cool little badge like Lizzie Lou, the green lettering there. She is a member on the YouTube channel. So if you want to be entered to win, go ahead and click that join button. I'd love to have you as a member. I'd love to get you entered to win the Wynola Ranch Quail Cage giveaway. They give me a different product every month. Sometimes it is an actual quail cage. I've given away a few of those in the past. I've given away transport cages. They even gave me a hand-etched grill one time, or a laser-etched grill that they make there at the shop. What else have we given away, y'all? We've given away some of the poultry transport cages. It's really been an awesome partnership with Wynola Ranch. I also talked to them again. I talked to them last week when we had that conversation. Asked them how they're doing on business. They're still backed up about a month on orders. So if you're going to order, oh yeah, thank you, Hatch and Hearth Homestead. I did give away the travel feeders. I gave away some waterers too, now that you mention it. They are still backed up about a month. They're trying to get caught up, doing their best to help you guys out. So that is the first big announcement. So here is the next big announcement. Hello, little Miss Baby Girl. Glad you're here. The next big announcement is this. I provide all of my content for free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a paying subscriber on Facebook. Um, it's the content that I produce is free. You don't have to pay me anything for these live streams. Hello, real McCoy Quail. Um, I give this information away, and I give it away because I want you guys to be successful at what you do. I want you to be good homesteaders, good farmers, good with animal husbandry, good with incubating, good with brooding, good with the business side of things, that type of thing. However, I get a whole lot of phone calls where people are like, um, yeah, hey, listen, I've got a question. I just bought 20 quail from somebody else, and I'd like you to tell me what to do with them. Or, listen, I'm going to be starting a quail business. I'm going to order the quail from Tractor Supply, and I'd like you to tell me what to do with them. Now, I don't have any problem in the world with you guys asking me, hey, I bought these birds. What do I do with them? In the live streams, on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever, just quick messages, quick chats, that type of thing. But I have a lot of people who call me that basically are saying, I've bought birds or I've bought eggs somewhere else, and now I want you to help me. One of the things is I am one of the only content providers uh, that gives as much access as I do. I'm one of the only content providers who gives you a personal cell phone number. The numbers that you find on my website, on my Facebook page, everything that goes to this phone right here with my kids on it. With with the sports update. Oh, Royals are beating the Tigers. Um, when you dial a phone number, you get my personal cell. Okay, so not many people do what I do, and I don't mind talking on the phone. I don't mind answering questions. Uh, Marvin called me earlier today. Marvin's a buddy of mine, also a follower on Facebook and YouTube, and we shot the breeze for a few minutes. But because of the high volume of calls that I get, I can't have 30-minute phone conversations with every single person. I just can't do it. I don't have the time. The time that I do spend on those phone calls, I need to be spending out in my barn. I need to be packing orders. I need to be incubating. I need to be hatching chicks. I need to be doing social media. I need to be focusing on tasks that generate income. Now, all of the content that I do is free. All of the text messages, all of the Facebook messages, all of the emails, all of that, it's free because I want you guys, number one, to have access to me. Number one, number two, to have your questions answered. Number three, to be successful at what you do. But that being said, if anybody wants to have a business conversation with me, if anybody wants to look, I spent almost $200,000 on my education, right? Um, 2-year degree in emergency medical services, 4-year degree in organizational leadership, MBA, and a doctorate. Spent a lot of money on my education. So if people want to tap into my knowledge and my education and my expertise in business building and business development and homesteading and farming and marketing and advertising and finance and accounting and all of those types of things, I think it's only fair that I get compensated for my time. Believe it or not, I don't make a whole lot of money from live streams and videos and things like that. I'll spend 8 hours a day filming a video and, another hour and a half, 2 hours editing and uploading and things like that. And those videos, I make maybe $10, so I'm not making a lot of money by doing social media content creation. Um, I'm not trying to. My bread and butter is quail eggs. But if people want to learn and have a one-on-one, dedicated, me and you phone conversation, Zoom meeting, Google Meet, FaceTime, whatever, I'm willing to do that, but I do need to be compensated for my time. So what I have done is I have created on my website a link that allows people to purchase either a 30-minute or a 60-minute uh, one-on-one quail consultation. It can be homesteading, it can be farming, it can be the business side, it can be incubating, hatching, brooding, nutrition, whatever topic you want to talk about. um, I'm able to give you a full 30 minutes or a full hour of my time. But I am going to charge for it because I do need to be compensated for my time. I have across between the Quail Talk group, YouTube, the Judd's Quail Facebook page, and TikTok, I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 to 100,000 followers. I just can't have one-on-one conversations with every single person that wants to have a one-on-one conversation with me. Quick text, quick email, quick Facebook message, sure, no problem. Live streams where everybody has access to me, absolutely. But the one-on-one meetings, the one-on-one business consultations, these conversations that we have, and in fact, I even did a excuse me, I even did a business consultation with one of my friends and one of my followers, Nicole, a while back. Got it on video, videotaped it, sent it out to you guys for free. So I will share in the chat box real quick the link. Let me see. Hang on a second. Let me click. She's spending the night with her friend. I will copy the link. And if anybody would like to schedule just a one-on-one, me and you, FaceTime, Zoom meeting, whatever, you can do that. Otherwise, I am going to have to, limit the one-on-one conversations to, hey, there's Nicole. Nicole, I was just talking about you. Luke, howdy. Um, Otherwise, I'm going to have to limit the one-on-one conversations to either the Quail partners who are members on Facebook or the people who are making purchases through the website. Because for people to call me up and go, hey, I bought quail eggs from ABC company and now they're not hatched. Can you help me? Believe it or not, I probably get right now 1 or 2 phone calls a week about that. And in the springtime, I'll get 3, 4, 5 phone calls a day from people going, hey, I bought from ABC company. Their eggs didn't hatch. Can you help me? Well, no, you didn't buy from me. Like I'll help you troubleshoot because I'm a nice guy and I do that. But whatever issue you're having, you're going to have to take up with, ABC company. I had a guy earlier this week. Hey, I want you to ship some eggs. I want to get them by September 3rd or September 4th. I said, odds are it's probably still going to be too hot. And I've still got 40 orders backed up from before it got hot that I have to fill. So, it's going to be a while. I recommend you find somebody local. And he says, well, the only local company is ABC company, and I can't get anybody to return my call. So I do help people as much as I can. But with 75 to 100,000 people following my channel, it just gets to be too much. Because those phone conversations, they do cut into time with my kids. They cut into, my poultry swaps. They cut into time with, and you can even come hang out with me at a poultry swap like John did. John came and just sat at the poultry swap with me, bought a couple of things from me, and we sat there and chatted while we were there. But when the phone calls in particular, the ones that pull me away from, um, other things that I need to be doing that are going to be revenue generating, right? Because the goal here is for me to be able to support myself, my family, my farm, and my kids. So thank you very much, Nicole. So anyway, so those are the 2 big announcements. And now I kind of want to get into the number 1 business tip, because that was the phone call I got today. What do I do? How do I get started? And the number 1 What do I do? How do I get started? Probably most difficult thing for you to do is to build your local market. Period. I don't care if you're selling jams and jellies. I don't care if you're selling sourdough bread. I don't care if you're selling quail. I don't care if you're selling quail eggs. I don't, it doesn't matter what you're marketing, what you're advertising, what you're selling. Your local market has to come first, right? So I meet Nicole, who's local. I say, hey, Nicole, I'm selling quail hatching eggs. And she goes, oh, that's awesome. I've wanted to get quail. She buys quail from me. She has a good hatch. She goes on Facebook later in the evening. Somebody's on Facebook saying, does anyone know where I can find quail? Boom. Nicole goes, go to Judd's Quail. I just hatched out a bunch of his eggs and they were great. Then that person calls me up. I've made another sale because I met Nicole and told her I sold quail eggs. I sell the second person quail eggs. They go home. They have a successful hatch. The next person posts, hey, I'm looking for hatching eggs. Where can I find them? Boom, Nicole says Graham. Boom, person B says Graham. Now I've got two recommendations on the same post. The third person comes to me and says, hey, I heard you sell quail eggs. I'd love to buy some. You see, so it's exponential growth. And here's the thing. Now, Nicole's local, but she lives in Arkansas, about an hour away or so. And so what happens is she's on Arkansas chat boards, Arkansas homesteading boards, farming boards, things like that. No, that I'm not on. She's able to refer me out to other people. Now, once Nicole gets her little side gig going, Nicole can say, hey, I sell quail eggs. And she can start building and growing her business. But if she gets too big or too busy or somebody wants a bird that she doesn't have, she's like, hey, I'm backed up right now. You might want to check with Judd's Quail. I don't sell that type of bird. You might want to check with Judd's Quail. You see how this works? So the problem is that it's uncomfortable, right? And it's uncomfortable because when people say, hey, what do you do for a living? It's easy to say, oh, well, I work down at the ABC factory, or I work down at the Dodge dealership, or, oh, I work in produce at Walmart, or, I work at a dental office, or I work at the hospital, or whatever the case. But when you start telling people I'm a farmer, or I raise quail, or I'm selling sourdough bread, or whatever the case is, suddenly you now have to stand behind your own product, right? You work at Walmart, you don't have to stand behind Walmart stuff. Somebody badmouths Walmart, you're like, yeah, they're terrible, right? Or someone says, oh, I used to work at ABC factory. I didn't like it there. Okay, great. It's ABC's factory, not yours, right? But now you're saying, this is mine. I take ownership of it. These are my eggs. These are my birds. This is my farm. These are my products. Now you have to take ownership of it. And let's face it, when you first start farming, when you first start homesteading, you're not making enough money to support yourself. So when I first started, it was a whole lot easier to say I'm a paramedic than to say I'm a quail farmer. Now I tell people all the time, I'm a quail farmer. I'll tell them I'm a quail farmer before I tell them that I'm a paramedic. Right? So build your local market. Go to your local farm swaps. Go to your local poultry swaps. Go to your local farmers markets. If the school or the churches are saying, hey, we need vendors, get your product together and go, right? You may not be able to take birds to those events. You may not want to take birds to those events, but you can take pickled eggs. You can take hatching eggs. You can take eating eggs. You can take, I make vanilla is something that I make from home. I bake bread. I can take that from home. And all of those little things can contribute to your success at the farmers markets, at the local events, things like that. And those events are designed for networking. When you hold those events, you get to shake hands, you get to talk to people. eye. You get to make friends. You get to make real, genuine connections. Who now, hey, I know Nicole. I know Luke. I know Penny. I know Lon. I know Lizzie. I know, and I know Cheryl. I know Mark. Like, and when you start making all of those connections and people start to know who you are and they start to like you, that's when you start generating repeat business. So for a very, very, very long time, I was, hey, here's my phone number, call me. Hey, here's my phone number, call me. Hey, here's my phone number, call me. Because I needed to establish those genuine connections with real people who got to meet me, who got to shake my hand, who got to see that I'm not just some dude on the internet making stuff up, because there's enough of those, right? That this is a real person with a real story, with a real background, with a real history, with real experience, with real understanding, with real knowledge that he's willing to give to me for free. And I am, and I do. I'm giving you guys the absolute number one most important business tip you can possibly have right now. But I have gotten to the point to where I can't just take the 30-minute phone calls all day, every day anymore, simply because there's so many people who actually have access to me, who can text me, who can call me, who can Facebook me, who can email me, that type of thing. So build your connections, then start worrying about expanding your business. Now, you may want to do like Nicole does. Nicole is totally a planner, right? Very detail oriented, nurse practitioner, wants to farmstead, wants to, has a 10-year plan all laid out. Like, she is laser focused, but she needed some help getting started because business isn't her thing. So I started her off with a business plan, a complete business plan template that I gave to Nicole and said, fill this out, write this down, and follow it. But you also have to be malleable in the sense that you may decide, I'm going to sell this, right? Everybody loves chocolate sourdough. I'm going to sell chocolate sourdough. So you go to the market, you put a bunch of chocolate sourdough up, and everybody's like, you got any jalapeno and cheddar? No, I don't. I got chocolate. Nah, I want jalapeno and cheddar. Well, you make 10 loaves of chocolate sourdough, come home with 8, but you had 15 people ask for jalapeno and cheddar. Next market, you need to bring jalapeno and cheddar, don't you? Not to say that you can't bring chocolate. You should, but you definitely need to have the jalapeno and cheddar sourdough because that's what everybody was asking for. The same thing happened to me when I first started. I knew people wanted meat. I knew people wanted eggs, but I just assumed that everybody was going to want color. Not the case. My number one selling bird is a jumbo brown, hands down. My number 2 selling bird is the jumbo Egyptian, hands down. My number 3 selling bird is the jumbo white. My number 4 selling product is going to be the jumbo mix. Number 5 is going to be the party box. Number 6 is going to be the mystery box, in that order. So you've got to be flexible. What I'm doing now is not the way I envisioned it a few years ago. Pretty birds, really, great birds, and having this, vast array of colors. I don't need a vast array of colors. I need a few hundred browns, and to be honest, I could get rid of the whites and the Egyptians too and still run a business just off the browns. That's what everybody's buying. So start with your local market, introduce yourself, meet people, find out what the demand in your area is for, meet that demand. Maybe it's salsa, maybe it's relish. One of my best products ever was squash relish that I made about 4 years ago. Haven't had a good let me rephrase that. Not only have I not had a good squash crop the last few years, I haven't even planted squash the last few years. But I made squash relish and I sold the fire out of it. I was selling it $10 a quart and could not keep squash relish on hand at all. And I love making squash relish because it's a hot pack item. So guess what? No water bathing, no pressure canning, completely seals on its own. And then you put your squash relish on absolutely anything you want to. I love squash. I want to grow squash again. This was not my year. Didn't have time. Lots of changes over the last year for me, right? But you've got to be flexible. You've got to be malleable. Once you find out what the demand in your market is for, start pointing your beak in that direction, then get a business plan and decide exactly how you're going to do it. Now, there are aspects of a business plan you're not going to be able to fill out. There's going to be financial questions on there, and you're like, I don't know. I don't know how much the equipment costs. I don't know how much the supplies cost. I don't know how much the maintenance is going to be. I don't know how to calculate depreciation. I don't know how many I'm going to sell. My costs are going to depend on my sales, right? Because you do have fixed costs, right? Which are costs that you're going to have to pay absolutely 100% no matter what. And then you're going to have variable costs. Okay. So, for example, a fixed cost would be rent. Your rent is your rent is your rent is your rent. If you have to rent, it's going to be $500 a month no matter what. If you've got a website that's $300 a year, it's $300 a year no matter what. If you've got a blue check mark next to your name on Facebook, that's $40 a month no matter what. Those are your fixed costs. Electricity, by and large, is going to be fixed. It could have some variability to it, but by and large, for me, we do what is called bill leveling. So they average their previous 12 months divided by 12, and that's your next 12 months payment. Your variable cost, if you're canning, is going to be jars, right? Because your jar cost is going to depend on how many jars of canned goods you produce. If you only produce 10 jars of food and it's $1 a jar, your cost is $10. But if you produce 1,000 jars of food, then your jar cost is $1,000. So you can go through and you can figure out fixed cost and you can figure out variable cost and things like that. But you may not necessarily know how much to budget for. Well, I plan on canning 100 cans of squash relish, but I only can 50, or I actually can 200. So you can do a little bit of budgeting and things like that. But when you first start and you're doing this all by yourself, just you, just your spouse, on your own, it's very difficult to calculate those costs because you don't know what those costs are going to be until you know what you're producing, what you're selling. Then you can sit down and you can break those costs down. Okay, I'm pickling eggs. The jar costs this much. Red pepper flakes cost this much. Cajun seasoning costs this much. One onion costs this much. But one onion will go in 6 jars, so I actually only pay 25 cents per jar. Not $1.89 per jar, which is roughly about what an onion would cost, right? It's a gallon of vinegar, and it's $4, but I can make 10 jars with 1 gallon of vinegar. So my vinegar cost is 40 cents a jar. Okay, let me go and add this up. I've got red pepper, I've got onions, I've got jars, lids, rings, blah, blah, blah. My total cost is $3.48. I need to sell this for $12 because of all of the time that I have invested in this as well, because it took me 30 minutes to collect my eggs. It took me 30 minutes to get the pots and everything ready. It took me an hour to get all of the eggs peeled. So I've got 4 hours of time into this. If I sell 10 jars at $12 a piece, that's $120 a jar, or $120 less $4 a jar. So now I'm at $80 a jar, and I've got 4 hours of time invested in this. So I made $20 an hour by making this jar, right? Do you see how all of that maths out? Anyway, there's a lot of information for you. Go back and watch it in slow motion. But that's the type of information that people are wanting me to give them one-on-one on a daily basis. That's why in the comments you can see I have a business consultation page. That information, we're already 35 minutes in, and that's how long it took. So a 30-minute consultation with me to cover whatever business quandary you may have. you can book a consultation. We can do it one-on-one. If you want me to look at your setup, if you want me to look at your barn, if you want me to look at your feed, if you want me to look at your incubator, if you want me to look at whatever it is, we can do it on FaceTime. We can do it on phone call. We can do it on a Zoom meeting like this. I'm happy to do these one-on-one type of meetings with you guys, but I do need to get compensated for my time, and that's kind of why I'm doing it. So some people may not like that, and I understand. Believe me, I've put off selling my time for as long as I can. I just can't give my time away anymore, and for that I apologize. But the 30 minutes, the hour that we spend on the phone, hopefully you'll get far more value out of the meeting than what you paid for the meeting. That is my goal. Okay, so who else is here? Let's see. Marvin says, finally got my Australorp pullets sorted out today. It got 2 roosters out of the bunch. Good. Australorp's one of my favorite chickens. Big dual purpose bird. I love them. Pretty. They're black. They've got red comb, red wattles, and that beetle sheen on them. Beautiful birds. So while we're here, the floor is yours. Y'all feel free to ask me any questions, and let's sit here and talk for a while. Tell me what's on your mind. Ask me whatever questions you have. And be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. That helps these videos gain a little bit of traction in social media, and helps it reach more people. You guys are being awfully quiet, so please let me know if you can hear me in the comments, and if you have questions, let me know as well. Nobody has said they can't hear me, so that's a good thing. All right. Are you working tonight, Nicole? Kim, hey Kim. I hadn't seen your name pop up yet. That's the first I've seen of you. Hello. Penny. Just bagging up some quail meat that you butchered this week. Good. I sold some quail today too. Ooh, speaking of which, I need to go get that check and deposit it. Oh, you're on days. Heck yeah. Welcome back to Among the Living. That's awesome. Now you have no excuse for missing a live stream. You're not going to have anybody dying on you in the middle of my live stream anymore. That's fabulous. James, how much is the cost for a phone meeting? I didn't hear my nephew came in. Oh, so I'm doing a 30-minute phone consultation for $30, and I'm doing an hour consultation for $50. Those are the two price points that I put in there. And you buy 2 hours, we'll do 2 hours. You buy 4, we'll do 4. Doesn't matter to me. I just need to be able to be compensated for my time. That's all. Y'all would not believe my phone. Like it, and it's slowed down because it's a slower season. But during the spring, holy moly, it is insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, I bounce from phone call to 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 phone call. My kids get irritated with me. Carrie gets irritated. I mean, just would you put that down? I'm like, nope, I will not. I will answer my phone. So, let's see. And I've got people messaging me right now about the poultry swap. Someone's eating quail for the first time. which of course is always exciting to me. And I love getting y'all's messages. Um, y'all know, y'all like people send me their hatch rates all the time. People send me pictures of the first time they cooked quail. Like I really, really love getting y'all's messages. I do. And I can't always respond. And sometimes when I respond, it seems like maybe I'm being a little bit short. And I promise I'm not. Like y'all make me happy. How important is it to have a business card? I think it's very, very important, Mark. It's less important. Like I don't need a card out at the poultry swap, right? People always know I'm going to be out at the poultry swap. So they always know where to find me, how to find me. That being said, it's very important in the sense that maybe you don't have birds with you, maybe you don't have eggs with you, maybe you don't have a jar of pickled eggs with you, maybe you bump into someone in the store. Let's say you go to the grocery store, right? And someone's in the back and they're like, I can't find the quail eggs. And you're like, you know what? I have quail eggs. And you hand them a business card, right? Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't know how many people go to Walmart and look for quail eggs. Um, I don't ever buy eggs at all, ever. So I'm not there. But the point is, if you meet somebody at work and you're talking about it, you talk about farming, talk about homesteading, and they express an interest, super important. And the thing is, you can go and get like 500 business cards on um, what's it called? Vistaprint for like $30. I mean, it's worth having five of them in your pocket at all times. In fact, let me take a look here. I got my wallet in my pocket. So, yep, right here. Got a handful of business cards in my wallet right now. So I think it's very important, just because you may not be in a situation where you've got whatever product they're looking for at that moment. Processed birds is a good one. Um, I don't just go and process birds, right? Sometimes I do. When I get 50 males and they need to be butchered, yeah, I'll go ahead and butcher them and throw them in the freezer. However, I don't just butcher males if I don't have to, right? If I don't necessarily, if I've got 10, 15, 20 roosters, I'll keep them in the rooster pen, and it's a lot quicker to give them a scoop of food than it is to go and process 20 or 30 roosters at once. Um, so I may not have butcher birds available at that exact moment in time, but I may have birds at home that I can butcher if somebody wants the meat. So I say, hey, give me a call if you're interested. Um, I'll go outside, I'll process the birds, I'll have them ready in a half hour for you, right? So, yep, I do. I do. I've got an extra cage that I just put my roosters in. I've got a bachelor pad. Let's see. Kim said my quail are 5 weeks old in one pen, waiting on the Wynola cage. I know it's not ideal, but how bad is it really? Well, it's one of those things. You do what you got to do, right? Like they're backed up about a month on their orders. They're backed up about a month on their orders. There's nothing you can do about it. So you kind of sit and wait, right? Craig, hello. Good to see you. Luke, if you weren't paying attention, you got to go back. You got to watch from the beginning again, man. Telling you, this one's a banger. You've got to weigh and sort about 40-ish birds tomorrow. So that's one of those things that I've been putting off. I have some birds that I truly need to go ahead and weigh, and it's only like 4 or 5 of them, because they're right at that 10-week mark. So I need to see, are you going to make it? Are you not? Type of thing. Um, but I've got some birds that I've kind of left in the brooders, not because I can't put them in grow out pens, but I just don't have to right now. But I am getting ready to lock down some birds tomorrow. When I do that lockdown, I'm going to need to go outside and get those birds out of the cage. move them. Oh, and check this out. I am doing a test on a mouse trap. Got contacted by a company that said, "Hey, um, this is our product. Would you be interested in testing it? Um, we'll pay for the product. All we want you to do is an honest review." So I've actually got a product right now that I'm out there testing, and this is a rat trap. It's called Garden, Guarden. So like guard, garden. Um, these traps are like this big, like this super adhesive on it, and they're like peanut butter scented. I've got a few areas in my barn where I've had some rats chewing up, and I've got my daughter's dog that's been bringing rats up to the house. I don't know where the rats are. Like I have no idea. I haven't found them, but I am seeing the remnants of them. So I'm doing kind of like a test on these rat traps, and I got to tell you, man, they are pretty fantastic. I went out there and saw one of them had gotten kicked out from under the brooder, and I don't know how it got kicked out from under the brooder, but it did. And so anyway, it had a ton of flies on it. So, and it was over there near where I keep my bug zapper, and so far I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Listen, I believe that these traps would work on squirrel. They are, I don't know the exact dimensions of them, but I would say they're probably like 8 inches by 4 inches, and it says it's an industrial strength adhesive. So it it's good stuff. You're getting to the NPIP testing prep. Only need to test birds 16 weeks or older. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, absolutely. See, the problem is, Luke, you live in the city. If you lived out here, you could take a 22, ping that squirrel off, dress it out, run it inside, fricassee that sucker, and have supper. That's the way we handle squirrel around these parts. We eat them. Uh, but you're the urban homesteader type, and if you got to shooting a gun, you probably get in trouble by the neighbors. In fact, it's funny because the other day I was filming, and my neighbors actually got out and got to shooting their guns, and they get out there and shoot from time to time, but not very often. And so there was a pretty solid volley of gunfire the other day, and I'm like, oh, let me go look. Ended up, it wasn't that it was a solid volley. It was that my neighbor and his grandson were both out firing off their rifles at the same time. So it sounded worse than what it was. Um, but, gunfire in the country is not a bad thing. That's just what happens. So let's see. Good evening, Mary. Glad you're here. Marvin, you'd like to know more about that mousetrap? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'll pull it up on Amazon real quick, and I'll put the link in the comments for that rat trap because, like, just I mean, it's plastic and adhesive, right? So it's what you would expect out of um, a rat trap, but it's for rats. It's not for mice. So let me check. It says for mice and small rats, but it's a 10 pack of these suckers is $20, and it's like they're big. It's one of the bigger traps that I've ever used. There we go. Let's see. Oh, and it's peanut butter scented. I didn't know that until after the fact. Um, let's see. How often do you get snakes in your cages? Not often. In my quail cage, in the Wynola Ranch quail cage, I have only had one snake in 3 years. And he had killed one bird and was trying to kill the other bird when I got in there and got a hold of him. Um, the um, the only other time I actually have a video, it's a pretty good video, by the way, that I filmed where I ended up catching a snake in one of my wooden brooders.
Can I turn the air down? It's on 85.
Is the oven still cleaning itself?
Can I turn that off?
What's it? No, you can't turn it off because it still needs to go. Look and see what that timer says. I thought it beeped like it had gone off. Is it still smoking or anything?
It says CLN.
Okay, it's clean. So you can go ahead and shut that window, bump the air down to 76, and turn that hall fan off. We had a spill.
Never mind, it says 39 minutes.
Oh, 39 minutes. Okay, yeah, then go ahead and bump the air down a little bit. You can go ahead and shut the window too in the kitchen as long as it's still not smoking. If it's still smoking, leave it open. So she was cooking, and I think she spilled some oil, and the oil went down from the stove into the oven. So my oven has caught fire twice in the last week. I like to live dangerously, and so I decided to use the cleaning feature. Oh, and anybody local. So anybody local. My daughter is selling blue and gold locally and DJs. So if you want any blue and gold or you want any DJs, she has that available. So um, anybody who would like to make a donation can just make a donation as well. That would be certainly appreciated. But Luke did. Luke's the man. Luke sent us a donation and was like, "Hey, I saw the picture. You can buy some cookies for your family. Here you go." So Luke, thank you. Hey, come here. Tell Luke thank you. Hang on. Don't worry about your hair.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to raise money to go to National Convention this year in Indianapolis, Indiana. It will be the only year that I can go because my FFA only goes every 4 years, and it is my junior year. So I'm graduating next year and will not be going. So this is my only year I can try and go.
So she is busting her butt. She's got to sell $3,000 worth of the blue and gold. She's already sold $1,000 worth. I bought some. My parents have bought some. Carrie has bought some. So Luke has chipped in and helped out, which has been just awesome. So uh, it's pretty good. Pretty. Hey, listen, it helps. Any little bit helps. Really appreciate it. And she got to pick out her own cookies, Luke. So she was pretty happy about that. Let's see. Let's see. How often does snake? Yeah, so only twice. Once in the cage, killed one, had another. I killed him back. Then I had one in a brooder, and that's so really I've only had two in the past couple of years. The chickens and the guineas do a pretty good job at keeping the snakes at bay, and we actually had a dog named Dutton that ran off a snake one time, but the snake bit him, killed my dog. Pretty sure it was a copperhead. Elsa has cornered a couple of um, just black snakes out there that I've had to get rid of because they've been eating my food and things like that, or eating my eggs and things like that. Um, but otherwise, the guineas and stuff like that do a pretty good job keeping everything at bay. Let's see. Lizzie Lou, if it works, you should hook your buddy Brandon up too. He's going to hurt himself. Listen, I love Brandon, man. He's a trip. I talk to Brandon probably once every couple of weeks or so. He's busy and he's got this really bad deal going on right now. Um, he was with U.S. Cellular for years and years and years, I think, and he got bought, and U.S. Cellular got bought by AT&T. Well, now he doesn't have internet because even though AT&T bought U.S. Cellular, AT&T and U.S. Cellular haven't transferred ownership of the towers yet. Basically, has no internet, no phone, no nothing right now. Um, Doing the best he can to keep things up and running, but he's got some issues over there right now. Let's see. I have probably 30 males that need to be gone, but they're standard. How would you go about cooking crock pot 10 and then pick the ones? Is it only me? I've never eaten quail yet. So crock pot, you'll if they're standards, you're definitely going to want probably two birds a person. Um, so I'd go out and process them as you need them and toss them and toss them and toss them and toss them and um, into your crock pot. Season them how you like. Try seasoning them 3 or 4 different ways. Throw them in a crock pot, 3 hours on low, perfectly cooked. So, oh, Luke, so that is McKinley. Mylan is the one with the pink hair. Um, Now, some of y'all know this, some of y'all might, but I've got identical twins. They don't look alike to me. Occasionally from the back, occasionally from the profile. I can't tell who's who, but they are twins. So if you see one with pink hair and then you see one without pink hair, they're not washing their hair. They're different kids. So that's funny. Let's see. Yeah. So speaking of Brandon was doing a video the other day, and I just happened to be watching it, and he was saying something about he's sorting the birds, but he's keeping these separate from Judd's. And I called him up, and I'm like, What are you keeping separate from Judd's? Like, what are you doing with these birds?" And as it turns out, he has some birds that he did not get from me, and then he's got some birds that he did get from me. And he said my birds are twice as big as what um, he'd gotten from the other breeder. So that that's how that worked. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, she's busting her tail. And she's reaching out to anybody and everybody she knows. She's been going through the local Facebook groups and stuff like that. Marvin, she's selling blue and gold, which is around here. It's uh, beef. It's beef, bacon, pork, and let's see, bacon, sausage. It's bacon, sausage, and chicken is what it is. And then they have something called DJs, and DJs is a variety of things. They sell cookie dough. They have tamales. They have um, some like seasoned chicken and things like that they sell. But she's trying to sell $3,000 worth, and she's about $1,000 right now. But she wants to get to national convention, so she's got about a week to make that happen. Um, so she's selling it like crazy. Got to go shut down your chickens and feed. Catch you later, Kim. Good seeing you, Derek. Oh, listen, first hour of the live tonight, Derek, was a banger. You got to go back and catch it. It was a good one. It was a good one. So wish you were closer. You would try it. Is there a way to donate to her online? Yes, you can. So I will put my Cash App and my Venmo in the comments if you want to make a donation. Um, you can make a donation and just notate that it's a donation for McKinley or donation for my daughter, whatever. This is not my business Cash App. That's my personal Cash App. And my Venmo is uh, so you can make a donation there, and we'll send that on to the school. It's the FFA deal for their school. So, um, if you want to make a donation, that'd be great. If you can't, that's okay. Understand that too. Um, but we're cheering for her. She is she's working hard. She's working really hard, and I'm proud of her. So your wife is warming up to the jumbo whites. So whenever you decide to stop living on the surface of the sun, you've got some orders coming. Listen, whites are going to be a while before I can produce enough eggs. My whites have been absolutely decimated. I've probably lost 80% of my whites. Uh, it's been bad. And I've got a guy with an outstanding order of 108, and my jumbo whites haven't laid an egg in 3 days. So I do have some whites in my grow out pens. I am going to be getting them uh, sent out as quick as I can. Um, but man, the whites have gotten just clocked. And part of that is, remember, y'all, um, I actually bought 240 jumbo white eggs earlier this year, and they were neither jumbo nor white. So that was it. Had those eggs been what they were sold to me as, um, then I would be in fine shape. I would be just fine. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And the jumbo whites are pretty birds. And here's the other thing, Luke. A lot of people really like the jumbo whites. They say that they process cleaner than like the browns or the Egyptians. I skin. I don't pluck, so I can't really tell a difference. But some people swear by it. What's the average weight of your jumbos after being processed? You started selling processed quail to a local meat store a few days and have to weigh them. So you're just curious. I don't weigh them. I will tell you that the vast majority of my jumbos that I process are birds that didn't hit that 10-ounce mark. So I'm processing a lot of 9.5, 9, 8.5 ounce birds, and then you get what you get. Um, so I don't weigh them. I know some people sell by the pound. I don't sell by the pound. I just sell $6 per processed bird. Hey, come here. Come here. Okay. So this is my other one. Show me your hair. There it is.
Wait.
There's the other one. There's the pink. She had it tied up in a braid. So somebody saw McKinley and he said, "Well, how's Miss Pink hair?" And I said, "Wait, that's the other one." He's like, "Oh, my bad." So
Can we turn the oven off yet?
it's got 36 minutes and it'll be done.
My eyes are burning.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's done smoking. That's why we don't spill stuff on the stove.
That wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you, but I said we collectively. I didn't want to single out McKinley for dumping an entire vat of oil down the stove.
Hi, boy.
So
Hi, boy.
Luke said he apologizes for confusing the two of you. Brother, they are more than used to it. At school, even though Mylan has the pink hair and McKinley does not, people walk up and they're like, "Which one are you?"
No, listen. I was in business math, and Jan, the foreign
She's
exchange
telling me a
student,
story.
he was like,
Oh, they've got a foreign
Going,
exchange student,
McKinley.
and he kept calling her McKinley.
And I'm like, do you need her? And he's like, no, I need you.
And
I'm
Mylan
like,
goes, "Okay, so do you need McKinley?" And he's like, "No, I need you."
and I told him, I'm not McKinley. He says, you're not?
He
I
said,
was like, no, she's my twin. And she's like, you're a twin?
He
She
said-
has a twin?
she goes, "I'm not McKinley," and he goes, "You're not?" No, that's my sister. So that's funny.
He's from Poland. His name is Jan.
He's from Poland and his name is Jan, and he's like 6'5".
Very
Apparently, he's a pretty big dude. Well, I don't need to hear how muscular he is.
You'd be impressed. He's 17 and insane.
Big dude, huh?
And it takes 4 math classes.
Holy cow! Apparently, my man's smart too. He's taken 4 different math classes.
Except the straight line things. the absolute value bars. They
Uh-huh.
do that in Poland. He doesn't know what that is.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Let's see. Urban homesteading means no snakes. Listen, if there is a snake within a mile of your place, they will find those eggs. Promise you that. Uh, duh, 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 duh. I wish there was a way for us to ship the blue and gold because, I mean, there's a lot of people, like even my entire Florida family is like, we'd buy it if you could ship it. But unfortunately, shipping costs would eat into the fundraising cost. And so that's not real viable. You'll buy $200 and have her donate the food to some. Marvin, that would be fantastic. I appreciate it. Your sister's already been in here. You're behind the eight ball, kiddo. Nope. Marvin said he'll buy $200 worth and we can donate the food.
I've sold 50.
What's that?
I've sold 50, but she sold 600. It's due by Monday.
She has not. She has sold 900. Thank you.
Yeah, I've sold 50 bucks.
You getting there?
To carry it, Grandma.
You get there. So Marvin, that would be fantastic. I appreciate it, and we'll order the food, and that would be amazing. Let's see. That's what I processed was my extra boys that didn't make weight. Most were upper 8, 9.5 ounces. Afterwards were like 4.5 to 4.7 ounces. Yeah, if you're selling to a meat market or something like that,
yeah,
then you would have to.
I didn't even sell blue and gold. I've sold DJs.
Let's see. Is this my Venmo? Yes.
I'll carry it in her money.
All right. Let's see. You'll overpay if I want to ship to you. I'll tell you what, if you want to place an order and then let me charge shipping afterwards, we could well, no, okay, I can't do that because it'd have to be overnight and it'd have to be on ice and stuff like that because it's all frozen, and it's perishable and stuff like that. So the shipping alone would be another $100. So that's, I wish I could. Blue and Gold does have the best breakfast sausage. I've got a two. In fact, what I do is I'll actually use that sausage like in recipes where you would typically do like hamburger. I'll use that sausage instead. So like chili with the Blue and Gold sausage instead of hamburger meat is spectacular. Or you can split it up 50-50. You can do like half sausage, half venison and make it chili that way. Oh, it is killer. I've actually got some venison chili that I pressure canned from last year, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I am a first place chili cook-off champion. Yeah, first place, and I make chili so hot it'll peel the paint off the walls too, boy. I like a good spicy chili with a grilled cheese sandwich. Mwah. That's, in fact, if you want to know my number one favorite thing ever to cook, chili. Love cooking chili. It's just too dang hot to eat chili this time of year. I'll tell you that. So, chili champagne. Yeah, man. That's that's definitely not me making stuff up. John, you have friends from Florida. They always take blue and gold back with them. Heck yeah. That's like the big thing around here. When we moved to Oklahoma, I didn't know what blue and gold was. And it is so popular around here. And I mean, it's not cheap. Like you're paying $30 for a pound of bacon. But the peppered bacon that they sell, holy moly. I had some in the fridge. Carrie came over and made bacon and cabbage one night. It was the best bacon and cabbage I've ever eaten in my life. The bacon is, I mean, just big, thick, long pieces. It cooks up amazingly well. Hey, Marvin said he was going to donate $200. Come over here and say hello, say thank you to Marvin.
Thank you. a lot. Thank you.
Listen, brother, I if we could all, they did like they used to do QuailCon, right? And QuailCon was something put on by a farm in Ohio, and people from all over the country would come and set up and stuff like that. If I had the ability to do something like that, I would do it in a heartbeat, because to me there'd be nothing cooler than just hanging out with like 29 of y'all here, according to YouTube right now. Hang out with 29 of my closest friends around a bonfire. Um, you introduce beer, we might actually all get in trouble too. Uh, but no, that would be awesome. Roseberry Farms, howdy, glad you're here. You sold blue and gold when you were in high school 30 years ago. Yeah, it's something we do out here. We never did it in Florida that I'm aware of, but out here, like once blue and gold season comes around, people call it by name. Like they ask for everything. So it's pretty incredible. Uh, I enjoy seeing the kids get involved. I enjoy what I really like is I like the community support. We had a scrimmage game last night, football. And when I say scrimmage, it wasn't even like full play. They didn't even do a kickoff. They started at like the 40-yard line, and then the other team would get 5 plays, and then we'd get 5 plays, and then they'd get 5 plays, and then we'd get 5 plays. And then we went down and we practiced goal line, and then we went down and practiced at the other goal line. And then they let the kickers come out and let the kickers practice. And we had almost as many people out there for a scrimmage game as we have for a full high school ball game. And it was fun. It was fun seeing the community get involved, and that's something that I really like about smaller communities, is just the community engagement, the community involvement. It's really something that is lacking in the bigger cities, the bigger communities. I didn't grow up in a small town, but when I was growing up, it was a lot smaller than what it is now. But my dad graduated from I graduated from the same high school my dad did. Interestingly, I graduated from the same high school my grandma did. And my dad was a season ticket holder from like 1973 up until the last year or so. And so when I would come home, like when I was in my 20s and I lived in Orlando or lived in Gainesville or whatever, and I would come home for the weekend, I'd always go to the high school football games with my family. And if you follow the NFL, Mike Pouncey and Marquise Pouncey both came out of my high school, and they were best friends with one of the running backs for the University of Florida. So we would go to these football games, and we would have these, NFL superstars at the football games. And, I'd go, and my parents would go, and like all the people that I went to high school with. And of course, now the people that I went to high school with, their kids are in high school, right? So we get to go and watch each other's kids, play football and cheerlead and play in the band and march. And it's so much fun, so much fun to see the community involvement. But again, my town has now grown up so much that my graduating class was 2.5 times the size of the town that I live in now, right? So it was definitely bigger. $1,140. Good job, baby. Um, your wife will 100% put you on a plane to go talk tiny birds with other people. Hey, why not? Why not? You could make a trip down for a big quail event. Yeah, and I know a lot of people can. Like, I'm making arrangements to go to these homesteading conferences, these homesteading expos. Rumor has it, and I'm not going to say when, and I'm not going to say where, and I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to say what. But rumor has it that I may be a featured speaker at an event next year. Um, So y'all will get to see me in person and realize that I am, in fact, as goofy looking in person as I am on YouTube. I was watching one of my videos today, and you could see me walking, and I was born without a hip socket. Of course, I don't remember because I wasn't even walking when my hip socket didn't work. But I was in a sling for like the first 6 months of my life so that my hip socket would grow. My right leg's a quarter inch shorter than my left leg, and I've broken my right hip since then. So I kind of waddle anyway when I walk. I've got like this pretty handsome limp, and I was watching myself, and it like I look like I walk crooked. It's the funniest thing in the world to me. And so, yes, I I am in fact as goofy looking in person as I am on video. So, but as soon as I get it confirmed that I am going to be a guest speaker or featured speaker at this particular event, I will let you guys know when, and I will let you guys know where, and I will let you guys know how, because I will certainly be pumping that event up. And if I stop being lazy and start writing, I may actually have a book by then. I've been writing a book now for a couple of months, and I'm doing a chapter here and a chapter there, and I don't know how many pages I'm up to now, 30 or 50 or something like that. But I think I want to incorporate some of my business acumen, some of my leadership acumen, things of that nature into what I'm writing, and in large part, a lot of the customer service stuff that I focus on, because I think the customer service aspect is lacking across all industries. Farming in particular, because farmers tend to be kind of a more quiet bunch, a little more matter of fact, a little more, hey, this is how it's going to be. And I'm certainly that way at the farmers markets and stuff. If I'm charging, you know, $10 for a quail, I'm charging $10. And if you don't want it, that's fine. You don't have to buy it. Uh, my price on my eggs is my price on my eggs. You know, I I'm still one of the least expensive quail egg producers out there anyway, but um, my price is my price. So I can be certainly a little more matter of fact, but I think customer service is going to be um, an integral part of what I put in the book. But the thing is like I'll have a good idea on what to write when I'm out in the barn or something like that, and then I'll come in and I'll be tired, and I either won't think about it again, or I won't feel like it, or whatever the case is. You use a Dale's Quails brooder currently? Yep, Dale's Quails. I looked into him when I was getting started. He'd gotten hyped up a lot by some, rightfully so, by some other quail pages. And so when I was looking to buy some of his kits to put together, um, it just he didn't have anything. He just didn't have anything that would meet my needs. So I would have purchased from him very early on, but then after I got into the quail business, I discovered the Wynola Ranch cages, um, and ultimately, I'd already bought by the time I partnered with Wynola Ranch. I think I'd already bought 6 of their cages. So you accrue PTO, you demand details. Listen, as soon as I know, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I don't want to get too excited, but when I go to these things, like, I got to eat too. So more than happy to sit down and eat lunch with people, and more than happy to um, go out to dinner after the events and all of that sort of stuff. And I have no issues with that whatsoever. Let me see. Yes, I did. I sure did, Marvin. Thank you. I got it. I got it. I'm going to transfer that Let me see what I have in here real quick. How do I? I don't even know how to see my activity. Um, let's see. Oh shoot, Victoria. Let's see. Oh, these are like friends. Oh, I don't know why it's showing me friends activity on here. It sure is. So 200. I need to transfer out 220. Sorry, y'all. Um, but I had someone asking about a donation and wanting me to check. So let's see. Yeah, so I mean, I if I go to these events and y'all want to go out and grab dinner or something like that, more than happy to go out and grab dinner. I'm seeing Carrie, so I'm not going out to dinner with a woman alone, um, because I wouldn't put myself in a position like that. But uh, husband and a wife, you want to go out, a couple of dudes, you want to go out, that's great. But I'm not gonna have a private. I'm not gonna have a one-on-one dinner, just me and another lady. I don't do that. But get a crowd of people. I'll do a crowd of people. Um, so if y'all end up at an event that I'm at, let's go. Let's hang out. Um, I'm always up for a good dinner and good conversation. Let's see, and I would dress up. Like I wouldn't show up looking like this, right? I don't want y'all to actually see how bold I really am. Don't worry, I've got my minoxidil. Let's see. Your wife is napping. The kid's watching TV. You've got all the time for the live stream. Heck yeah, boy. I thought y'all were doing movie night, though. Y'all should be watching Back to the Future. It's a great movie for movie night. Let me tell you guys something about Back to the Future. Here's an interesting fact for you because I know stupid stuff. The clock tower in Back to the Future is on the Hollywood backlot. Okay. So I want you to go and I want you to see the clock tower and I want you to pay attention to it. Now, once you pay attention to it, I want you to pay attention to all of like the courthouse scenes, and I want you to pay attention to all of the um, law office scenes and all of the White House type of shows and stuff like that. You're going to see that clock tower a lot. It's courthouse all the time. Law and Order, Crime and Punishment, whatever those type of TV shows are. Uh, it's there all the time, and it's funny because I used to work at. I've actually worked at Hollywood Studios in California, and what is it out there? Universal Studios Hollywood. I've worked out there, so I've done the backlot tour and all of that. So I can actually watch old westerns and be like, I've seen that, I've seen that, I've seen that. And it's funny because a lot of it is just a facade. Like if you're watching the Western movies and it's like doo-doo-doo, and you see them walking down the road, like all of those buildings are just facades. There's literally nothing behind them except like 2x4s holding them up. It's pretty funny. Very few of them are um, actual buildings. So, but the clock tower, you'll see that everywhere. Let's see. 2/3 of your loadout is in Wynola Ranch. Yeah, great cages. If we end up at the same event, I call dibs on picking up the tab to pick your brain. Deal done. Um, more than happy to sit down and have a conversation. Lizzie Lou, you're going. Good night. You're going to hook up your CT 180. Bought it off Facebook Marketplace. One of my pals, my buddy Riley. I don't know if you've seen him in any of my videos. Riley picked up a GQF today. Um, he went home and set that up. Then I think he's going night fishing tonight. Riley's a good dude, man. Just a really, really stand up guy, hard worker. Let's see. You had one of your quail hens pull two nails off. What would you suggest to put on it to stop the bleeding? You didn't have any blood stops, so you thought cornstarch, but ended up using super glue. Super glue's fine. I mean, that'll work. Um, you can always like set them down in like an Epsom salt bath. So if you take a shoebox, right, that you can buy at Dollar General or Walmart or whatever, and cut like a hole for their head in the top, you can set them down in that bath, put their head up through the top, and then just let their feet stand and soak. Um, you can do an Epsom salt bath or something like that on their feet. But super glues work. You should be, but she fell asleep. Listen, that's the way it works. I'm like, hey, you want to watch TV? So, little Miss Baby Girl, you were a bloody mess and had your fingers glued shut by the end. See, that's the kind of stuff that needs to be on video. That's content right there. That's how you end up starting a YouTube channel. That's awesome. So, all right, what else you guys got for me? What's on your mind? Quail related, business related, farm related, homestead, poultry swap, anything at all uh, is open for discussion. Anything at all. Biosecurity. Tell you more for the MPIP stuff. Okay, so I've had this discussion before. Biosecurity is a lot like HIPAA, right? Um, Here's my example. There was a video that circulated across Facebook through some of the EMS groups, and it was clearly filmed in the back of an ambulance. No question about it. It was filmed in the back of the ambulance. It showed the care provider, it showed the patient, um, it showed everything. It was also clearly not filmed in the United States. However, you had a lot of people who were screaming HIPAA, HIPAA, HIPAA in the comments. Except here's the problem: Mexico doesn't have a HIPAA law. So there was no HIPAA violation. Can't have a HIPAA violation if you don't have a HIPAA law. People just don't understand it. When we went through the COVID scenario, you had a lot of people um, saying that your employer can't ask for your vaccination records because that's a HIPAA violation. Absolutely not true. HIPAA law only applies to healthcare providers. Okay. Now, that can be an x ray tech, it can be a paramedic, it can be a doctor, it can be a nurse, it can be a dental assistant. It applies to the medical field, the medical community, and organizations that practice medicine, pharmacists, whatever. But if your employer says, hey, a condition of employment is that you have to present this vaccination record to us, then you have to present that vaccination record to them. You, as an individual, are protected from the entity from releasing any identifying patient information. So, what constitutes HIPAA is your personal healthcare data being released by a covered entity, right? So, for example, there's a traffic accident, car catches on fire, 3 people die. Law enforcement will get on TV and be like, we had a 3-car MVA today. This vehicle was driving on the wrong side of the road. It was a red Toyota Sienna minivan driven by, you know, Jose Suarez, and he ran head on into a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck carrying Michael and Sandy Bradley, and all three of the victims died at the scene. And the fire department will show up, and they'll be like, "Yeah, man, it was on fire, and we sprayed water on the fire, and the fire went out because we sprayed water on it, and then we landed a helicopter because we thought we were going to have to fly these people out, man, but we couldn't because they were dead." And then the EMS agency is going to be like, "Dang, it was a car crash? Man, that's crazy." Fire's not covered by HIPAA unless they happen to be medical providers. And law enforcement is not covered by HIPAA because they're not a medical entity. So NPIP is very, very similar in the sense that, Derek, you tell Emily that I had a wonderful day and tell her I said thank you for asking. That means a lot to me. So biosecurity is much the same way, right? You can't do this, biosecurity. You can't do that, biosecurity. You can't do this, biosecurity. You can't do that, biosecurity. To break it down for you, biosecurity basically is this: don't let people in your barn, don't let people touch your birds. That's like in its simplest terms, right? Like we could certainly get into the nitty gritty and stuff like that, but you don't want to buy from auctions. You don't want to bring auction birds into your flock. If you are NPIP clean, NPIP certified, AI clean, you want to buy from other NPIP certified, AI clean people. Don't go buying eggs off eBay. Don't let people into your barn. Don't let strange birds into your barn. Um, Keep your barn clean. Uh, if you wear boots away from the house, don't wear those boots in your barn, right? Um, but there are people who, "Oh, you can't come onto my farm. It's biosecurity." I'm sorry. I'm not leaving my house to meet you a mile down the road over a $4 dozen of eating eggs. You can come up to the house. You can park in my driveway. I'll bring the eggs out to you. You just can't come in the barn. That's all. You know, and by that, by the people who are like, "Oh, I never let anybody. It can't come to my house. Biosecurity, biosecurity." Like you don't have company. You don't ever have a bonfire. You don't ever have a birthday party. Like people are going to come to your house. People are going to come and visit. What you don't want is you don't want cross contamination of any kind, right? If anybody's ever worked in the food industry, you don't put the bleach above the bread. Okay. So in the farm world, you don't put the bleach above the bread. You don't have anything around your barn that can contaminate the bread. Does that make sense? Um, Now, this isn't like you don't have to wear a special suit. You don't have to have contact precautions, any of that sort of stuff. You don't have to shower in, shower out, right? Don't get me wrong. You should shower after you've been out in the quail barn for sure. But what I'm saying is just do things that make sense. If you have shoes that you wear to an auction or wear to a poultry swap or wear to an event or whatever, don't wear those shoes back into your barn because you could potentially bring something home. Now, in fairness, all of your birds should be in cages. So you shouldn't really run the risk of bringing something in on your shoes. But occasionally, let's face it, birds will get out and get on the ground. But the fact of the matter is they're more likely to pick up something from wild birds flying overhead and droppings than some type of like surface contact type of thing. So just be cautious of who you buy from. Be careful of who you sell to. Be careful of who you let into your barn. I've visited other farms. They let me into their barns, and they're like, "Hey, can you put these booties on?" Absolutely, I'll put those booties on. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Oh, thank you. Someone sent me a gift, and it disappeared so quickly I couldn't see who it was. Thank you very much. So just again, kind of pay attention to what you're coming in contact with, where you're going, and stuff like that. Don't let people in your barn. Don't let people handle your birds unless they're buying them. Um, that's the long and short of that. But you'll see people going crazy over biosecurity. Oh, biosecurity! They don't know what the word bio or the prefix bio stands for, nor do they understand what security is. So just be careful. NPIP releases documents and flyers and things like that. From time to time, they'll ship them out to you, email them to you, whatever the case is. You can kind of look over those. When you're running a major poultry operation, right? And let's say you're an inspector for some type of major poultry operation. Um, oh, it was Little Miss Baby Girl. Thank you, dear. Um, you've got to practice biosecurity. You've got to wash your shoes. You've got to shower in, shower out type of thing. Whole different ball game dealing with commercial poultry. You got 100 quail at your house. You're not even in the same county, much less the same state, with a commercial poultry operation. Let's see. Old Bayou cooked some gumbo and potato salad. Used spicy dill pickled quail eggs in the potato salad. Oh man, I bet that was good. That was good. I know a lot of people that will actually make their egg salad out of pickled eggs. Fantastic stuff. Let's see. Olan, what time of year do you like to hatch? I love fall hatches. I love fall hatches because, and that's a really good question, Olan. When you hatch in the fall, you're ready for spring, right? Um, now, that kind of depends. You're in Missouri, so you're you're going to get a little bit cooler a little bit sooner than me, but you're not going to get a lot cooler a lot sooner than me. I would say that you would want to have, uh, you might want to stop hatching in December ish, just because um brooder temperatures can be much more difficult to regulate when it's cold. Even if it's inside, unless it's heated inside wherever you keep your brooder, um, it's going to be more difficult to keep your brooder temperatures regulated. So, like where my brooders are right now in the outside barn, that's not a heated barn. I am going to continue to incubate and hatch, but once it gets down, below freezing, those GQF brooders are going to have a real hard time maintaining a temperature that is sustainable for the chicks. For that reason, I'm going to have to bring in portable heaters and run those portable heaters inside the barn to make sure that my chicks are warm enough. But I like fall hatches so that when spring rolls around, I'm ready to roll right into it. Um, in all reality, if you have a hatch in November, they're going to be laying in January and you're ready. For me, I'm going to need to hatch all of September, all of October, all of November, and hatch anywhere from 150 to 200 birds every single week just to get my breeders ready for next season. So I've got September, October, November. So that is 12 weeks. 12 weeks times 150 birds. Um, let's figure out, let's do some mathematicals. 12 weeks times 150 birds, that's going to be 1,800 birds. Divide that in half. That's going to be 900 birds. I'm only going to have 75% of them that are going to be able to breed, because you got to divide in half. Half of them are going to be roosters, half are going to be hens. So 900 birds times 75% for those that don't make weight. I'm going to end up with about 675 breeders good to go for the beginning of next season. Okay. 675 birds divided by 108 birds per pen. That's going to be almost 7 full 6-tier, or over 6 full 6-tier Wynola Ranch quail pens just for breeding stock. That doesn't include grow outs. That doesn't include roosters that I've got to hang on to. That doesn't include birds that I'm keeping for eating. So that's kind of where I'm trying to get for next season, to to try and keep up to the best of my ability. Let's see. Oh, there's Emily. Hello, Emily. Let's see. And we have Emily. I need you to say hi to Emily in Alberta, Canada. Emily in Alberta, Canada is here, and so is Emily in Vancouver, not Canada, Washington. So, Emily, Derek, if you don't know, is Emily Jensen of Five Little Quail Homestead, and she is fantastic. Pamela, hello. Check is in the mail. Awesome. Thank you so much. Pamela bought a hat from me. If you're interested in buying a hat, they're $25, including shipping. And I've got multiple colors available. Pamela doesn't do Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or any of that. She wanted to mail me a check. That's perfectly fine with me. I'll get the check, I'll cash it, and that'll be that. Yes, in your garage, Luke. The quail garage. Your man cave. Your quail cave. Kim, you wish your Croc flip flops were OSHA approved, coming and going. Listen, but like the thing about the Crocs is you can wear them as flip flops, or you can flip that sucker up over your heel and throw them in forward low. So those Crocs, like, they count. That counts. Flip flops, forward low. Either one. It works. And if you don't think my girls have been out in the pasture wearing Crocs riding horses, you're wrong, because they have. I'm like, hey, y'all need to go ride your horses. They ain't putting on jeans and boots. They're going out there in Crocs and shorts. And then they're like, I got this rash on my legs. Funny kids. Funny kids. Unless you have visited a USDA sponsored farm, you don't know what biosecurity is. Vehicles, farm, land, barns, employees, shit. Yeah, exactly. And so that was kind of what I was pointing out, Pamela, is if you're a commercial poultry operation versus me, or small operation in the garage, totally different planets. Totally different. Do you have to do a palorum test on quail? Yeah, that's the NPIP mark. They have to test up to 300 birds, I think is what it is. They got to test 300 of them, maximum of 300. And then every time they do an NPIP, they'll also do an AI screening. But to be AI clean, they have to come and test, I think, 50 birds is what it is. Your 15-year-old Emily thinks Emily is the coolest. That's because Emily is the coolest. She's fun. Crocs flipped over, 4-wheel drive model. That's right. You sent $100 for the blue and gold. Donate it and use it for breakfast. Awesome, John. Thank you very much. Let's see. I got to get your last name right. Schick. All right. Excellent. I'm going to text that to McKinley. All right. John, did you send that on Venmo or Cash App, my friend? Cash App. Never mind. I got it. Thank you very, very much. And I am going to withdraw that so that I can cut her a check. Withdraw. Showing up Tuesday, which is good because money's due Friday. Perfect. Thank you. Yours are the actual flip-flops made by Crocs. You don't like the traditional Crocs. Trisha Bremer, my friend from Minnesota. Howdy. Let's see. It is August 22nd. That means it's a winter in Minnesota. I'm just kidding, but I bet your weather's better than mine. In fact, I bet it's beautiful right now. Hey, come here. I need you to tell John thank you. This is John.
Thank you.
He
What a,
donated $100 to your blue and gold.
thank you. I appreciate it.
So I did send you a text just so you'd have his name. I think I did.
I'm about to be putting you down for a lot of stuff.
I know. I know. All right. Now I owe you jumbo white eggs. Listen, as soon as I can get them suckers uh, back to where they're hatching like they're supposed to, brother, you got it. Because I'm having a heck of a time trying to hatch everything out and regrow the flock. I do have lockdown happening tomorrow, which means I should have chicks on Tuesday, which makes me very, very happy. Check your website. Just ordered them. Oh, hold up. Let me see. Let me see my email. Judd's Quail, a new order has arrived. Heck yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You got it. All right, cool. Hey, listen, y'all. And I'm thinking about this because I just looked at Luke's order for the jumbo whites. When you place an order, please be sure to include your phone number. I know that a lot of people don't want to put their phone number out there. They don't want spam calls, stuff like that. Totally get it. But occasionally I need to get in touch with you guys. And Trisha actually is one of those folks that I have had to call and say, hey, I got a question. I had somebody, so Trisha lives in Minnesota. I had somebody from Minnesota call me one time and go, I need to find someone local. Who do you know? I don't know that I know anybody that's local. Like Minnesota's a big state, but I do know Trisha. So I actually had to call Trisha and say, hey, I've got a phone number. I've got a contact. They're wanting someone local. Thought maybe you could give this person a call. Maybe you guys can work something out. Don't know if they did, but I do know that I tried. Same thing. Derek is in Alberta, Canada. I have actually had somebody from Alberta contact me and say, do you know anyone local? And of course, at the time, I didn't know exactly what Derek was doing with his quail, how many birds, how many eggs, anything like that. So I messaged Derek and got his phone number. I'm like, hey, what do you have? How many birds do you have? And I think at the time Derek said he had like 40 or 60 birds or something like that. But there was somebody in Alberta that needed eggs. He's like, yeah, I've got, 40, 60 birds. I'm getting plenty of eggs. I can help that person out. Again, I don't know if they ever connected or not, but when you guys come on here, join me in the live streams. If I'm able to keep up with who you are, where you're from, all of that sort of stuff, when I have people looking locally, I can refer them out. And so I do try to do that. And listen, I'm excited for that order. I appreciate it, Luke. I'm gonna get you taken care of, old buddy. I promise you that. You did. Your number's in there. Your number's in there. But I mean, I can find, like, we're friends on Facebook, so I could find you anyway if I needed to. But a lot of people I can't, right? And the thing is I like, there are some names that I recognize, but there are some names that I don't, right? Um, that's just how that works. The people that I see often, or the people that like transitioned from Facebook over to YouTube with me, I recognize a lot of those people. But and there's certain people. The last YouTube, there's a handle that says Tubbs Army. I know that's Steve Tubbs. Um, James, when I see his name, I know he's in Alabama. Monkey Bone, I know that's Luke in California. Trisha, recognize her name, know who she is. She's ordered from me a few times. We've talked on the phone. Derek is Blaster fan. So like I know a lot of y'all, but sometimes I don't, and sometimes, you know, I don't recognize the handle. And the funny thing is sometimes I know your handle, but I have no idea what your name is. Uh, Sometimes it's easy. John's YouTube handle is John. You know what I mean? Um, but you might find this hard to believe. He's not the only John out there, right? So he's got his last name, recognize his last name. He came out to visit me at a swap, so I know John. Uh, but there's a lot of people that I just don't. So let's see. You let's see. Y'all did connect. You have made plans to get her some eggs in the near. Fantastic, dude. That is great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I don't even I have no idea who she is either, Derek. But please tell her to follow me on YouTube, watch the videos. I don't know. I have no idea who she is. It was either an email exchange or a Facebook exchange or something like that. Um, but man, if y'all can connect and do business together, that will make me so incredibly happy. Let's see, Graham, my friend, pizza is here. It is movie time now. Back to the Future, bro. That's what it's got to be. Great, great. Well, I don't know if your daughter's 4. Maybe not yet. That might be a little too adult for her right now. So, see, and that's what I say. Like I know some of you guys. Like I know your families. I know your kids. I know how old they are. You know, it's funny to me. Hey, God bless you, Luke. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Tell your wife and daughter thank you for letting me borrow you for the last hour. Little Miss Baby Girl. I'm still going to call you Little Miss Baby Girl. That's all there is to it. Jill, the super glue quail queen. Lots of laughs in South Dakota. Where in South Dakota are you? When I was in Nebraska, I did go up to Mount Rushmore, drove through Custer National Forest. Absolutely gorgeous over there. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Beautiful. I didn't ever get to the Badlands, and I really wanted to visit the Badlands. But I love South Dakota. Totally, totally, totally love South Dakota. I also like cold weather and lots of snow. So there's that. Um, Problem is Oklahoma's got a really, really good shipping season. So um, I want to have like a grumpier old men like ice fishing hut somewhere. Really, probably in Minnesota. Like I don't know that I'd do well with Minnesota politics, but I do think I would probably do okay going up there and ice fishing for a few weeks during the summer. That would be all right with me. Minnesota's been in the news a lot lately. Lesterville and Yankton areas. So how far is that from say Mount Rushmore? By the way, if y'all haven't been to Mount Rushmore, it is awesome. Roseberry Farms in Pennsylvania. I've said it before. I don't know if I told you. I know I said it the other night. I almost went to work in Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. 3 more months. Where are you moving in 3 months or 3 more months for what? Trisha's eggs she hatched from me started laying today too. See, that's what I'm talking about, Derek. Y'all apparently have like a referendum for independence coming up, at least according to that one Facebook page, Free Alberta. Um, that would be cool. I don't know that, but it sounds to me like they don't want to be part of the United States. Like they want to be their own country. Oh, 3 more months for the ice. Heck yeah. Yeah, I kind of have like this grumpy old man scenario pictured in my head. Uh, to where I'm able to drive out on the ice, drill my hole, set my little bell, ping, and then I want to catch some walleye. I've never caught a walleye. I've eaten walleye. Excellent fish. Never caught one. So Pam's mom was born in South Dakota. It's beautiful, beautiful. If y'all haven't been to South Dakota, you're missing out. It is gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm telling you, like, depending on where you live, like, there is still some wild, wild west out there. The Dakotas are perfect examples of wild, wild west. Uh, Nebraska, Wyoming, Nevada, lots of wild west areas out there. Uh, Crazy. I saw a map the other day, and it's something like 50 counties in the entire country make up like more than 50% of the U.S. population. Um, really crazy to see. So you've got like Los Angeles County, you've got whatever county Seattle's in, you've got New York City, Miami Dade, Nashville, Tulsa, but it's like 50 states make up the majority of the entire U.S. population. So you get to, I call them the flyover states or the Midwest. There's a lot of land, y'all, a lot of vacant land. Beautiful, beautiful country. Kansas is another one. Lots of beautiful country out there. Let's see. You're on the southeastern part of the state, right along the river with Nebraska. Oh, okay. I got you. So I've been in that area. I think Council Bluffs is right there near Omaha. So you'd be just north of like the Council Bluffs, Omaha type of area, right? That's a very nice area too, by the way. Yes, October 19th is the referendum for independence. There's a big following for independence here and a big group that's more for the 51st state than independence. That would be cool. That would be cool. I would I would absolutely, if y'all become the 51st state, I'm going to need a Holiday Inn, and I will come up there for the Alberta. It's not Alberta, Canada. I'll come up there for the Alberta Homesteading Expo. That'd be great. Irwin, South Dakota population is currently 40. That's what I'm talking about. That's my kind of city right there, Pamela. We got we got 300 people in my town. It's big city. We got a Dollar General. So, all right, guys, what else do y'all have? Any more questions, conversations, quail topics, things like that? We've been talking now for 2 hours, and there's still almost 30 of y'all here. If y'all have anything else, throw it in the comments. I'll keep going. Like, I don't mind. I'm ready. I'm in my recliner. You can't see it. I got my leg thrown up over the recliner. Kicked back. I got a video I'm going to finish filming tomorrow. Um, I only filmed like 22 minutes today and yesterday, so I got to finish a video tomorrow. We boiled some eggs. We're going to do some more pickling tomorrow. I got to go get some more jars. John's ready. John's in for the long haul. He's got his coffee too. Evening cup of coffee is always worth it. How do you make your Bloody Mary pickled eggs? Great question, Mark. So what I did, so I've got a discount grocer here in town, and what they do is they sell like a lot of close dated type of stuff, but they sell it like 50% off. So I'll go and buy cereal there for like $1.50 a box, whereas if you go to the store, um, that same box of cereal is going to cost you like $5. So I get all of my sauces and stuff like that from them. So what happened is I went and they had Louisiana Bloody Mary mix. And I thought, okay, cool, this is going to be hot. I took it home and it wasn't hot, but it was spicy. And I liked the kick. So I went ahead and I did my basic brine. So 3 cups of vinegar, third cup of sugar, tablespoon of pickling salt, and then I did the a quarter cup of the Bloody Mary mix into the pint jar. 20 eggs to a pint, 40 eggs to a quart. You do a quarter cup of whatever your sauce is in your pint, or a half cup into your quart jars. Then I added, just for kicks, I added about an eighth of a teaspoon of celery salt, and then I added half a teaspoon of black peppercorn. Um, so with a Bloody Mary, if you've ever, especially the high end restaurants, um, and I don't really drink, so it's been a long time since I've ordered one, but you'll get like a full celery stalk in your Bloody Mary mix. Sometimes the little cute umbrellas, but you'll sometimes get a full celery stalk in your Bloody Mary mix. So I actually decided to do an eighth of a teaspoon of celery seed, and then I added the black peppercorn because a lot of times they'll grind the pepper right on top of the Bloody Mary as well. So I wanted to make that Bloody Mary mix kind of more authentic as possible, and it's it's good. Like, I have people requesting the Bloody Mary pickled eggs all the time, but I only buy sauces from my discount grocer because it drives the cost down and increases the margins. So if you're making for yourself, you're making for family, you're making for Christmas gifts, something like that, go on up to the grocery store, get you the Bloody Mary mix. Of course, it's non-alcohol; it's just the mix. It doesn't have vodka or anything in it. And get the Louisiana, or no, it wasn't Louisiana. It was a Tabasco brand Bloody Mary mix, is what it was. Perfect, 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 perfect. Lots of people really like it, so that's what I would do. You Googled my town. A third of my town must be kids. There's definitely a lot of kids around here. Yep, and that's what it was, Pamela. That heat that was in that Tabasco Bloody Mary mix was Tabasco sauce. Um, so, but to me, I don't put a sauce into my pickled eggs unless I taste the sauce first. There have been some that I've made that I wasn't really a fan of. So there was like an everything type of seasoning. It was like a salad dressing or a marinade, and it was an everything seasoning, and I added that. I didn't particularly care for the flavor, but the girls had some of their friends over, and I'm like, "Hey, taste this. Do you think this would go good in pickled eggs?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So, and I haven't tried those. I've got probably 4 half-eaten jars of pickled eggs in my fridge right now. Maybe I should do that next time. Bring me a snack. I've done that before because remember I had those Atwood's Gator balls, which I really liked the flavor of those, but I liked the eggs were a little bit soft. Um, so I like the texture of my eggs better, but I did like the flavor of those Gator balls that I bought from Atwood's. Those were pretty fantastic. So, what else you guys got? I like it when the comments are flying through and I got to scroll back and read some more. Cholula original is your favorite hot sauce. Cholula's good. I like that. That's the one that's got the little wooden cap on it. Louisiana's good. I like it. My actual new favorite is Frank's hotter hot sauce, right? So you can get Frank's hot sauce and it tastes good, but it's, to me, it's on par with like Cholula or Louisiana. It's not real hot. Um, And so I'm I'm the type of guy that I love hot. Remember, I was talking about my chili earlier. I love hot, but it has to be flavorful. I don't like hot that just burns the hide off your tongue for no reasons. Um, that I can't. If it's just hot and it doesn't have flavor and all it does is burn, like to me, that's not fun. I'll give you a for example. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings one time. In fact, the last time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings was with Misty after one of her chemotherapy treatments. And so we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and I ordered, I think it was their second hottest because they had whatever nuclear or atomic, and then they had whatever this, like whatever it was. And then underneath that, they had the mango habanero. Now, I had their mango habanero before and I wasn't impressed with it. I like mango habanero. I like, oh gosh, like a mango habanero relish is fantastic. But the problem with the mango habanero was that it wasn't really that hot. Even though it was the third hottest on the list, it wasn't really that hot. So I got whatever the second hottest hot wing was from Buffalo Wild Wings, and they brought it out. Now, first off, they were temperature hot, like they were super, super, super freshly cooked. These weren't wings that had been sitting in a warmer for 30 minutes. They were hot. Second off, whatever flavor that was, holy moly, it lit me up. I mean, eyes were watering, nose was running, just hot. But they were really good. Lots of great flavor. So, like by the second wing, I mean, my eyes were running, my nose was watering, I was questioning my life choices, all of that. But I did end up eating all 10 of the wings just because the flavor was so good. So I'm down for hot. Um, but yeah, Penny, those Frank's hot dill pickles are really good. I'll get those. They sell them in the pouches at a few places around here, and I'll get those from time to time. Florida Man Lunacy roasted garlic and the pineapple hot sauce. I'm a Florida man. And yes, yes, guys, we are in fact as crazy as social media makes us out to be. I watched a guy shotgun a Red Bull he cracked on a gator tooth, an actual alligator's tooth, the other day. And I started laughing because I'm like, yeah, that was us in high school. Spicy is better, slightly cooled down. Yeah, you're not wrong. Pamela, sometimes you just want like a little kick. You don't necessarily want it to be hot. Just a little bit of a kick. And I'll give you, for example, because I see Old Bayou Homestead there. I love a good crawfish boil. Love a good crawfish boil. And I want it spicy, but I don't want it hot. Um, I really enjoy a good kick with a crawfish boil. I don't enjoy hot with a crawfish boil, but I do like like a that corn that comes out of the crawfish bowl that's been soaking in there. It's got really good buttery, Cajun flavor to it. Um, but I don't necessarily want it super hot. Oh, I got you. I got you. Yep. Yeah. If those chicken wings were super hot. Now towards the end, the temperature had cooled down a little bit, and they were easier to eat for sure. It is hard to get the eggs to take the heat in. The key to getting your eggs to take the heat in is time. So, like a friend of mine sells dill pickled or dill pickled green beans, and they call them dilly beans. And I actually ate some of his dilly beans one time, and I'm like, dude, these are fantastic. How did you get them so spicy? Turns out those dilly beans have been sitting for like a year. So the longer it sits in that brine, the spicier it's going to get. But like when I eat my spicy dill pickled eggs, I'll actually try to pull the eggs out with a fork and get some of the mustard seeds, some of the red pepper, some of the black pepper on the egg, and then that helps kick that heat up. Boiled jumbo olives. Can't say I've had that, but one of the reasons that I do like the pickled quail eggs is because they're about the size of an olive, so it's a easy snack just to pop in your head. So, all right, guys, followers are starting to fall off here. We're down to about 20 of y'all still in here. You guys have anything else to talk about? Going to try adding sausage to your next batch of Frank's hot sauce quail eggs. Do try summer sausage, Derek. I don't know if that's what you had in mind or not, but that's what a lot of people do around here. Is they'll buy one of those summer sausages and they'll cut it like into strips, and then they'll cut it into halves and smaller pieces about like that, and just drop it in. And a lot of people do that around here. Uh, and I'll tell you what, if you go into like some of the canning groups and look up pickled eggs in the canning groups, you can get lots of really good ideas there. Or just looking up pickled egg recipes, you can get a lot of really good ideas because lots of people do it very differently. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a blessed Sunday. Good night, Pamela. Thank you, guys. John, anxious for the expo in Missouri. Yeah, I forgot to mention that tonight. I will be at the expo in Missouri. Let me see what the dates are. I got an email from someone. I'll read that here after a while. The expo in Missouri is going to be the 4th and the 5th. I'm going to be traveling up there on the 3rd, and then I'll be there the night of the 3rd, the night of the 4th, and then I'll be coming home the 5th after the event. So if anybody wants to go to the Ozarks Homesteading Expo, I'll be there. It's just going to be me. Carrie's going to have her kids for the weekend. My kids could care less about the Homesteading Expo. I'm not speaking. I'm not setting up a booth, anything like that. Really, what I'm doing is reconnaissance. I've heard some differing opinions. I've heard some people say that the Homestead Expo in Missouri is fabulous. I've had some other people say that they didn't really like the setup or the accommodations or whatever the case is. So who knows? I don't know what to expect. Hopefully it's cooled down. Uh, but I will definitely be there. So if anybody else is up there, wants to go grab a bite to eat, hang out at the expo, anything like that, holler at me. I'll be around. Anything else, folks, before I click the end stream button, because I've certainly enjoyed tonight's live stream. All right, I'm not seeing anything else pop up in the comments, so thank you guys for joining in. I love you. I appreciate you. Uh, I have so much fun sitting here talking to you guys. I really, really do. That's why I do it. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow night or not. I might. I typically do Sunday nights, so maybe I'll do one tomorrow just for fun. Thanks, Olan. Always a pleasure. Derek, always a pleasure. Um, I'll let you know tomorrow whether or not I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow night. I might. Why not? What do I have to lose? So, God bless you guys. Have a good night. If you need anything, holler.